right, let's cut straight to it. How long does it actually take to reverse PIED, or porn-induced erectile dysfunction? 6 months? A year? Maybe never? Nope. And if you're here watching this, that means you have what it takes to solve this in less than 21 days. And if you hang with me till the end, I'm gonna show you the exact steps how any man who's committed to this process can completely reboot his system in 21 days or less. And I know that sounds like one of those crazy fitness ads that promises you 6-pack abs in 5 minutes with no effort. But remember, I said committed days, 21 committed days to the process. This isn't the quick fix, it's just the real fix. So stick with me because I'm gonna break it down for you right now using a mix of science, strategy, and of course, a little bit of humor. What's up, bro? Welcome back to Morningwood Academy, where we dive deep into men's health and personal transformation. And I know what you're thinking right now. Gosh, Eric, could it really be that simple? Just 21 days? Well, here's the catch you've been waiting for. Most men never succeed because they're looking for the easy way out, the magic pill, the quick fix, the instant gratification path of least resistance. But reversing PIED, it's not about taking shortcuts. It's about doing the real work, rewiring the brain's neural pathways, and committing to the change. See, most guys, they want to go from zero to hero without breaking a sweat. They think maybe if I just cut out porn, but still binge TikTok and the Instagram models, it'll work down there, right? Wrong. You're still stuck in the game. You're still chasing dopamine and stimulating those same neural pathways that got you into trouble in the first place. And by the way, man, if you're super serious about crushing your PIED and supercharging your bedroom performance, then do yourself a favor and grab the performance map. It's my free ebook I made especially for you, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description. So, before we get into the how, let's get clear on the what. Porn-induced erectile dysfunction. It's exactly what it sounds like. Your little buddy down there can't perform because he's been spoiled by too many late-night research projects. You know what I'm saying? So, what does this tell us? PIED is a brain problem, not a blood flow problem. You're not limp down there because you're unhealthy or because your testosterone levels are on the lower side of normal, okay? No amount of exercise or diet changes or fancy overpriced herbal medleys is gonna reprogram your neurons in your brain that have been hardwired to crave intense visual stimuli. Studies show that repeated exposure to fantasy, but especially porn, overstimulates these reward centers in your brain, causing desensitization to regular stimuli. Essentially, your brain adapts, demanding to more extreme content to get the same hit of dopamine. It's like you've built this highway of habits leading to porn, an 8-lane superhighway, right? Nicely paved, never any traffic jams. Reversing PIED is about shutting down the highway and building a new path. So the problem is, for most guys, that your current neural pathway for sexual excitement through porn and fantasy, it looks like this smooth, well-paved highway, right? So easy for the car, your thoughts, to travel down. No resistance, no hesitation. But when you're trying to reboot, it feels like you're forcing a Ferrari down a dirt path filled with rocks and potholes and obstacles. At first, it's slow and it might feel difficult. And you probably want to turn back to your normal state, searching for the path of least resistance because it's just, well, easier. But it's remarkable that with a little time and a little commitment on your part, that dirt path starts to flatten out, to look more like a highway. And that's what this rebooting and reprogramming your neural pathways, it's all about. Repetition and commitment. Studies from the University of Cambridge and UCLA show that creating new neural pathways takes approximately 21 days of consistent effort. So yeah, that's why this is a 21-day process and not I'll try it for a week and see what happens plan. So let's get into it, all right? So what are we rebooting here? Well, what we know is that PIED happens because of 3 main issues, all right? Visual, physical, and emotional desensitization. It's where Sex with a real human is like trying to eat plain old oatmeal after you've been feasting on chocolate cake. Oatmeal's good for you, but your brain doesn't care. It wants cake. So let's break these down for you so you really understand what you're up against in your fight against PIED. First up, visual desensitization. Picture yourself as a die-hard gamer. You've just gotten your hands on the latest Call of Duty, state-of-the-art 4K graphics, surround sound, and it's got the most insane, adrenaline-pumping multiplayer mode you've ever experienced. You're storming bunkers, dodging sniper shots, and pulling off some next-level kills, all while wearing a headset that makes you feel like you're in the middle of the battlefield. You're totally hooked. But then, your buddy asks if you want to come over for some old-school fun, and he whips out Duck Hunt on the original Nintendo. Now, don't get me wrong, Duck Hunt is a classic. But after spending hours sniping enemies in hyper-realistic 4K, shooting pixelated ducks with a plastic toy gun feels like taking a tricycle to a NASCAR race. Your brain's like, where's the tactical squad? Why can't I call in an airstrike? Why am I shooting at these goofy ducks that look like they're straight out of a Saturday morning cartoon? That's exactly what's going on with visual desensitization and porn. When you've been exposed to hours of high-definition close-ups of the most supercharged and stimulating visuals, your brain starts to crave that constant thrill. So when you're finally in bed with a real woman, no special effects, no over-the-top lighting, no soundtrack, just normal-sized breasts, your brain's like, is this it? Like, where's the crazy plot twists? When's your overly attractive stepmom gonna come in with her gesture bathrobe on and one nipple hanging out and innocently ask to join us? It's not that reality is boring, it's that your brain has been rewired to expect Call of Duty level stimulus and suddenly can't appreciate the simple, natural experience that's right in front of you. Studies have proven that overstimulation from porn rewires your brain so much it actually makes intimacy one of the most passionate and exciting activities a human can experience, well, boring. The solution? You already know it. It's simple, but not easy. No more porn. No more dopamine chasing through endless scrolling or late night Instagram and TikTok binges. You're not just cutting off a source of pleasure, you're rewiring your brain. It's like taking away the Wi-Fi router in a teenager's room. You're gonna hear some complaints, but trust me, it's for the best. Now, studies show that abstaining from these visual triggers starts to resensitize your brain in just a few weeks. So it's crucial that you learn how to avoid these and set up your pattern interrupts and your replacement behaviors for long-term success. Next, physical desensitization. Bro, I can't stress this enough. Blood flow is not your problem. When you've overstimulated your main man down there, it disconnects from the electrical and otherwise physical responses it gets from your brain. You're left with this sort of phantom limb syndrome between your legs. And your body doesn't even respond to you even when you want it to. I think you know what I'm talking about. Think about physical desensitization like this. Imagine you're at the gym, but instead of following a normal workout routine, you've been obsessed with breaking the world record for the hardest handshake ever. Every single day, you go up to everyone you see, the gym bros, the front desk lady, even the poor barista at the coffee shop next door, and you crush their hands with everything you've got. After a few months of this, your grip strength, it's off the charts. You leave imprints on doorknobs and you open jars just by glaring at them, right? But then, your buddy wants to introduce you to his new girlfriend. And you go in for the handshake like always, but suddenly her fingers, they feel like you're squeezing a marshmallow. And you think, is she even holding my hand, or did a piece of bubble wrap just float into my palm? You're completely out of touch, literally. The subtleties of a normal handshake, the give and the take, that feeling of connection, it's all gone because your hands are conditioned to this Hulk crush everything kind of handshakes. That's what happens when you've trained yourself to jerk off with the death grip and full speed friction. You've dialed up the intensity to the point where your body expects crazy pressure and wild sensations just to register anything. So, when you finally get in bed with a real woman, you just program differently. Her touch, no matter how sensual it's meant to be, it feels like you're being caressed by a soggy piece of wilted lettuce. Your brain's just sitting there like, what is this? Where's the jackhammer action I'm used to? Why am I not feeling anything? It's not that there's something wrong with her touch. It's that your body's been tricked into thinking that the world's strongest handshake competition is the only way to feel anything. So, you've got to back off that iron fist training regimen and learn to appreciate the gentleness of touch. All right? Physical desensitization happens because the neural pathways that connect your brain's sensitivity of sensations from your downstairs department are out of whack. The key to this is intentional rewiring through specific exercises. Okay? Truly fixing this. It means reconditioning through proper solo activities, ones that actually reinforce sensitivity with the right type of touch and not the kind that you're used to. All right? This isn't no-fap. It's controlled, purposeful, and partnered if possible. Studies indicate that focusing on this kind of reconditioning can lead to significant improvements in sensitivity in just 3 to 4 weeks, aka 21 days. It's not the quick fix, it's just the real fix. And if you have any questions about these activities, get in touch with me and I can help you. But they're just too graphic for YouTube, I'm sure you understand. And lastly, emotional desensitization. This is the one where most men overlook. Imagine this, right? This purely hypothetical situation. You've been hitting up a dopamine buffet for years, with porn and fantasy and social media. Every day, it's a new stimulatory feast of perfectly curated bodies, instant gratification, and endless novelty, all at your fingertips. Every swipe, like, or scene change gives you that quick hit of that feel-good juice. But here's the thing. Just like that kid raised on sugary cereal who now finds a fresh, wholesome breakfast boring, your brain gets used to that extreme stimulus too. It expects that constant rush and starts demanding more variety, more shock value, more stimulation. Regular, real-life stuff starts feeling like you're watching paint dry. So when a normal girl wants to connect with you, hold your hand and spend time together, your brain's like, where's the excitement? Where's the explosion of dopamine? Because life doesn't have a fast forward button. All right, you can't just swipe to the next scene when things get real, awkward, or emotional. Relationships take time, vulnerability, and patience. And instead of engaging, you start to pull back. Real life starts to feel exhausting compared to this hyperstimulation you're used to. Emotional intimacy? Forget about it. That's just too much to handle when you're accustomed to quick, shallow highs. So what do? You retreat. You isolate yourself. You choose the quick, easy dopamine over the slower, messier rewards of real life. You stop trying to connect because it's just too much work because you're programmed for instant gratification. Connecting doesn't feel as good in the short term. And just like that, you're stuck living in a virtual world, hitting next, while life and relationships keep passing you by. So, how do we tackle this one? How do we rewire your emotional pathways? By building up naturally produced oxytocin. That's the love hormone. It's your best friend when it comes to rebuilding emotional connection. Things like eye contact, non-sexual touch, and being vulnerable are key when building this back up. I have a bunch more inside of Morningwood Academy that help men to supercharge their recovery in 21 days. I call them partner activities. And they are the rocket fuel to your hardest directions in the shortest period of time. And beyond that, it helps you to feel connected faster and more grounded and, most importantly, fulfilled. So, now you know about the 3 types of desensitization. How do we put this all together to achieve our goal within 21 days? Listen up, bro. This is what I was telling you about in the very beginning of this video. Here is the magic of the 21-day reboot. It's designed to eliminate the 3 causes altogether. All right, we start by removing the porn and dopamine chasing. No more relying on artificial highs. Then we build up the oxytocin through a mix of solo and partner activities. Okay, did you catch that? First, you commit to eliminating the triggers. and replacing them with the right habits. Remove the porn, limit the dopamine chasing behaviors, and start rebuilding those oxytocin levels through your solo and partner activities. It doesn't matter if you don't have a partner yet. I have a secret inside Morningwood Academy that's going to help you to change your life. And what's this secret sauce? Of course I'm going to tell you, bro. You're my family. It's something that I call inner work, and it's the cornerstone of this program. This is where you level up as a man, you get into personal development, and you find your purpose. And you become someone that doesn't even need porn anymore. You don't need any external tools, supplements, or complicated techniques. Everything you need, it's already inside of you. Inner work isn't just about cutting out the bad habits. It's about leveling up your mindset, your confidence, and your life. When you become a man who has his own vision, purpose, and drive, porn loses its grip. It becomes unnecessary because you're just too busy being the best version of you. And as I mentioned before, single guys, do you think that you have a better chance of finding an amazing woman in your life as the man you are now, or the man who's on a mission of bettering himself, living his purpose, and understands what real intimacy is? That's not a trick question. And married guys, or guys in relationships who still struggle with this, do you believe that your wife would get mad at you if you started showing up more fully present in your life? Building your relationship from a place of confidence and discipline and passion? I'm not saying it's easy, but trust me, I really struggled with this before I met my coach. And if you're anything like me, those patterns and those neural pathways you dug into your brain are deeper than the Mariana Trench. But also like me, if you commit to this for 21 days, you can see and feel drastic changes. All right? Remove the porn, remove the fantasy, reset your brain's neural pathways, build up those oxytocin levels, and get into your own personal development. You've got everything you need already. You don't need pills, pumps, or weird stretches, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Just a good plan and a commitment to follow through. So, how long does it take to reverse PIED? 21 days if you're committed to yourself and the process. It's not the quick fix, it's just the real fix. I've been helping men through these issues for over 10 years now because I went through this myself, and I know how hard it is, and I know exactly what it takes to come out on top. There isn't a faster way than leveling up yourself. I hope you can see that. And for the men that do see that this is the only real solution, I'm happy to speak with you about your journey and how we can help you to crush this once and for all. And don't forget, if you're really serious about crushing your PIED and supercharging your bedroom performance, then grab my free ebook, The Performance Map. I made it especially for you. All right, see the link below. And if you don't see this as the only real solution out there, then you can keep trying the path of least resistance and taking pills and wondering why life is just so hard all the time because changing your life for the better is just out of your control, right? I know you're not that stupid, bro. So if you are ready to take back control, erect the thumbs up for me, man, and stimulate the subscribe button for more talks on men's health and personal transformation. And right now, bro, click the link below for the performance map, and I'll see you on the coaching call or in the next video. Much love.